Hello friends, as in the previous videos we have covered the static IP routing with the help of one router and two router. In this video we are going to cover the next level, means how to configure the networks or routers with the help of command line interface. So here we are going to take two networks, 1 and 2. You may take any number of hosts in a network connected via switch or hub. So how the router can be configured for the active data communication within these two networks, that we will be doing it or demonstrating it in practical session with the Cisco packet tracer tool. So let's start the session. Here I have already labeled and created the network, but I have not configured any router or the host. So let's just configure the routers and host. So for simplicity I am keeping the class A addresses and the same pattern that we have followed for all the videos, means the first network is with network ID 10.0.0 and the second network is a network ID with that network ID as 20.0.0. So let's just configure the host. So first host is going to be 10.1.1 and second host, if there would be second host, then it will be 10.1.1.2. okay, similarly for the second network I am using the same pattern 20.1.1.1 1.1.2. okay, so for every network, as we have already discussed, we must provide IP address, subnet mask and the gateway address. So here is the IP address 10.1.1, subnet mask is this, and the gateway address will be any unused address of this network. So you may use 10.1.1.2.3.4 any address of this particular network, means network ID must be same, any address as the gateway address. So I am just taking the next address, so as 10.1.2, okay, as the gateway of this particular network, because router will only listen to the gateway addresses, it will not work with any other address, means host IDs are not known to the routers. So let's just configure the another network's host. Here the addresses are 20.1.1 and as we have two systems, so I will be taking 1.1.3 as the gateway address. For second host, let's just quickly configure them. 2 is the host ID and the gateway ID is same, dot 3. okay, so the hosts are configured. You can also check they are able to communicate. okay, as you can see the status is successful. These both systems are able to communicate, means connections are okay for the networks, but router is not configured to use this or for the communication within these two networks. So we need to configure the router also. So for that we need to provide the IP gateways and the subnet mask. So this time we are not going to use the configure option and provide the gateways, as this is connected to fast ethernet 0/0, fast ethernet 1/0. so this time we are going to run the command through this command line interface. okay, and for this command line interface we have certain rules. We must discuss those rules first. So for this, first we have user execution mode. okay, when we enter the command line interface mode, we will be in user execution mode. From this mode you need to enable the privilege mode, and for that command is enable. We will see it in practical. You can also write en, only en, or complete word enable. So here the shortcuts or commands are also working. Next, from privilege mode you need to enter the configuration mode, means where you can configure the ports or you can provide any type of configuration to the router, like password change or configuration of different ports. So from global configuration mode you need to specify what configuration you want to make. okay, next to entering the global configuration mode, the command is conf T, or you may write configuration terminal or a configuration T, any short form, okay, or the full form. Both ways you can work. So after this global communication mode, configuration mode, you need to tell, means you need to be specific that which port you want to edit, okay, configure. So here I have written int FA0/0, it means interfaced fast Ethernet 0/0. So after entering this sub configuration mode, you can configure any particular port. Here if we are writing this command, then we can configure this port only, fast Ethernet 0/0. For another port you may write fast Ethernet 1/0 or serial interface 0/2/0, 2/1. Any port you can configure with this sub configuration mode, okay, but you cannot move to any other mode without any sequence, okay. So from this mode you can enter to this mode only, from this you can enter to this mode only. So you have to follow the sequence, and from this mode on reverse path you can from sub configuration mode you will be entering to global configuration mode only, and from this to privilege, and privilege to user execution mode. And for this, to exit any of the mode, the command is exit. You can simply write exit and you will be moving to the previous mode, okay, from this mode to this mode, this mode to this mode, and so on. Firstly, discuss some more commands to change the host name, and you can also set the password, means you cannot allow anyone to configure your router, so you must provide some password. After providing the password, before entering the privilege mode, it will prompt you to enter the password, and only after entering the correct password you will be able to move to the global configuration mode. So let's see the commands for that. So once you are entering to the execution mode, the prompt would be like this, and after writing the enable command, after this enable command you will be getting this prompt, means this is the prompt of privilege mode. And from to enter the configuration mode, global configuration mode, you need to write the config command, conf t, or you can also write configure terminal, okay. So you can use the command in both ways, either short form or the full form. So after this, here I have provided the mode and the hint, means where you can also write the command like this, or you can also write the command like this. So you can use it in any way. Next, after writing the configuration terminal command, you will be entering to global configuration mode like this, global configuration mode, and the prompt will be like this. And from this you can set the passwords, and you can change the host name as well. So here for any changes you need to move to the configuration mode first, and then you will be able to add the password or change the host name. So here the host name I am changing to my router, and if you need to provide, after changing the host name, the prompt will be like this, my router config hash. So earlier it was router, now it is my router, okay. So after this you can also change the password, and the command to change the password is enable password. Here 123 is the password, you may use any other password. So here you can change the password by simply writing enable password, and after that if you exit from this mode, after this if you are exiting from this sub configuration mode, you are moving to the global configuration mode. Next, from global configuration mode you are moving to the privilege mode, and after exiting the privilege mode, if you try to enter the privilege mode again, it would ask you for the password, and you, after providing the password, then only after the entering the password you will be able to enter to the privilege mode, Okay, so you must provide the password to your router. So let's try this command. Simply go to the config and then we will move to command line interface. Here if you check, the host name is router. So let's enter here the prompt is router, that means you are in user execution mode. So simply I am going to provide, or I am going to enter to the privilege mode by writing the enable command. Here is the prompt for the privilege mode. So let's just enter the config mode. From config mode, if I want to change the host name, simply write host name my router. You can change any name. So after this, the prompt is like this. If you can see, my router config hash, and next if I want to change the password, so this is the accurate mode where you can make certain changes like host name, password. So enable, I am enabling the password. Let's just give it 123, keep it simple. So the password is enabled now. If I exit the mode, configuration mode, and now I am in the privilege mode, and even if I exit the privilege mode, I am in the execution mode. Okay, now let's just try to enter to the privilege mode again, and now this time it is prompting you and asking you for the password. So that was 123. I have entered the password. It will not be visible here, not in the form of stars. So after successfully entering the password, I am entering to the execution mode, privilege mode. Now again to the config mode. Here from config mode, I can configure any port, or I can write the command for the configuration of ports. So firstly you need to know which port you want to configure. Okay, if you are not having the information about the port number, you can simply enable this allow show port labels. So after this you can easily see the port number. So here this 10 network, this network is connected to fast Ethernet 0/0, and this B network or 20 network is network with ID 20 is connected to fast Ethernet 1/0. You can check by moving the router. Okay, so I need to configure fast Ethernet 0/0 for this network and fast Ethernet 1/0 for this network. So let's just write the commands for this. Here in this mode, this is global configuration mode, and I need to configure this port. Okay, so to configure this port, I need to enter to the sub configuration mode, means specific for this mode. So I need to write int. You can write interface as well, and FA 0/0. You can also write interface fast Ethernet 0/0, means in full form also. So after clicking enter, you will be moving to this, that is sub configuration mode. Now this mode is for configuration mode is for this port only. Okay, now let's just provide the subnet mask and the IP or gateway of this network, because this port is configured for this network. So I am just providing a command IP address. So I need to provide the gateway address 10.1.1.2, next space and a subnet mask. Okay, so the IP address is 10.1.2 or the subnet mask, so the gateway of this network. I need to provide the gateway at the port number, not the IP, not any host IP address. So gateway is 10.1.2 and the subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. So after entering the IP address is provided successfully, you can also check in this in GUI mode as fast Ethernet. I am configuring this port fast Ethernet 0/0. So you can check here, this is configured successfully. The gateway is provided and the subnet mask is provided, but still the dots are red over here. if you can see, let's just turn off the preferences to make the connections clearly visible. So here the dots are still red because I have configured this port for this gateway, but I have not turned it on. Okay, so for that I need to write another command, means I have configured this port. If I clicked here and there, the commands are automatically running in background. Okay, means if you are working in GUI mode as well, so you will be you can see the commands running in background. So here IP address is successfully provided. Now I just need to turn this connection on. I need to turn this connection on, and for that I have to write no shut. The command is no shut. You can also write no shutdown, means I need no shutdown for this port. I need to turn it on. Okay, so I have changed the status to up. Now the connection is active and dots turn to green. You can also check in configuration, it is checked now, simply by running the command. Okay, so let's configure the router for another port, that is fast Ethernet 1/0. So I am moving to the command mode. Now from command mode, as this sub configuration mode was for this port only, fast Ethernet 0/0, so to configure another port, that is fast Ethernet 1/0, I need to move back to the previous level, means previous mode, that is global mode. So I need to exit once. After exit, now I am in global configuration mode. Now I have to enter the configuration mode of this port. So I will be writing int, the port is FA 1/0. Okay, now I have entered to this, the sub configuration mode of this specific port. Now just provide IP address. By IP address I mean the gateway of the network connected to this port. Okay, and the gateway is 20.1.1.3 and the subnet mask is 255.0.0. Okay, simply enter, and the IP addresses are provided for this connection. You can also check in configuration here. Fast Ethernet 1/0 is provided with the gateway, this as the gateway and subnet mask, but the dots are still red. So just write the command to turn them green by no shut, means I am turning it on by writing no shutdown command. And as I wrote the run the command no shut, you can see the dots turned green here and the router is ready to boot and the booting process is going on. So we have successfully configured the routers. Our configuration is done. You can also see the status is checked here, mean the button is clicked here. The router is turned on and configured for these two ports, fast Ethernet 0/0 and 1/0. Now the configuration is done. You can check by sending a simple packet data unit from one network to another network. Okay, it is failed for the first time, so let's try again. So you got the successful status. Next time in switches and router you may get failed status, failure for the first time, but next time you will get a success. Okay, let's try again. Try sending a packet data unit from second network to the first network, and here again we got the success, and router is also reachable from the host, any host in the network, and the status is successful here. So that's all for this video. In next video we will be having the IP routing with dynamic protocols, that is routing information protocol in easy way and easy steps. Till then, bye and take care.